I'm ready.
Super.
Let's do it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here in Dauphin County, specifically here at the Dauphin County Housing Authority. I want to welcome you all to our very newly updated community room here servicing the community in Dauphin County. So as a housing provider in these very challenging times, we are encouraged by the statewide actions that continue to uplift our residents. The property tax credit rent rebate program provides a direct financial assistance to older adults and those with disabilities. As costs continue to rise, this injection of dollars can provide stability to Pennsylvanians who are trying to make ends meet. As a supporter of this program, the Housing Authority provides application services to our participants. In 2024 alone, to date, the Authority has completed over 550 applications. That is more than 75% of our public housing participants. Staff continues to be a bridge between the state programs and the residents of Dauphin County. Investing in older adults' financial security can lead to long-term benefits, including better housing stability, better health outcomes, and reduced reliance on social services. This program continues to be an economic boost for our vulnerable communities, and we thank Governor Shapiro and your team for your expansion to this program to include more Pennsylvanians, as well as a higher dollar return. It is now my pleasure to welcome Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Leah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's good to be here and to see all of you, see so many familiar faces, Diane and others. And I just want to say this is a good day here in Steelton, here in Dauphin County, and here all across Pennsylvania. I think, Representative Madsen, this might be my third trip to Steelton in like the last 2 weeks or something. But I want to say how blessed you are to have Representative Madsen working hard for you every day. And I know we were going to be joined by Commissioner Hartwick. He's in a meeting, but he and his colleagues on the board are doing a wonderful job as well. Listen, I wanted to just come here today and let you know how grateful I am for the conversations that we have had over the last couple of years here in Pennsylvania. The time where I was campaigning to be your governor, and then in my early days as your governor, I heard seniors loud and clear that they're struggling with rising costs and they needed a little bit of extra help. I heard from so many of you the lifeline that is the property tax rent rebate. But also I heard from you the frustrations with the property tax rent rebate. The fact that it hadn't been updated in 20 years. The fact that every time you got one of those COLA increases for Social Security, it knocked so many seniors out and they couldn't get the relief anymore. The fact that the relief that those could get just wasn't keeping up with the cost of goods and services, and it was making your decisions on a fixed income even more difficult and challenging. Those conversations had an impact on me. I heard you loud and clear, and I made a commitment to you that as your governor, we were going to address it. And you know what? We brought together a bipartisan group of lawmakers to get that done, to show the government could listen to the voices of the people and meet the needs of the good people of Pennsylvania, particularly our seniors and those who are disabled, and that we could deliver meaningful relief at a time of rising costs all across this Commonwealth and across this country. We made a promise, and we kept that promise. And I'm here today, back in Steelton, back in Dauphin County, to tell you that the check is literally in the mail and that seniors are going to begin to receive their relief starting Monday. If you've signed up to get relief electronically, you're going to get that hit your bank account early next week. And if you signed up to receive a check, they'll be coming out over the course of the next week or so. Secretary Brown, who runs the Department of Revenue, is here. This is the guy who's literally carrying checks all around Pennsylvania, handing them off to seniors. I do want to say a word about Secretary Brown and the team at the Department of Revenue. They're the ones that administer the property tax rent rebate program. They have done a hell of a job for you. They are working overtime right now to make sure that that relief hits your bank account, hits your mailbox as quickly as possible. And let me tell you something. They're not only working overtime, they're processing things more quickly, and they've got a lot more demand. Let me talk about that for a minute. They have turned around 95% of the applications that have come in. Just to give you some context on that, last year, at this point, they had only turned around 75% of those applications. So they're working a lot more quickly and a lot more efficiently. And we're grateful to Secretary Brown and the team at the Department of Revenue. But now let me give you some other numbers. The benefit that seniors are going to have across Pennsylvania. As of July 1st, which is on Monday, over 442,000 Pennsylvania seniors are slated to receive $266 million in property tax relief, including 9,000 people here in Dauphin County. And it sounds like a whole bunch of folks right here in this building. That is an incredible increase over last year. Let me give you those numbers. Last year, 283,000 Pennsylvanians received $132 million at this point. So hear me on this. That's 283,000 people last year, jumped to 442,000 seniors this year. And at this point last year, we had sent out $132 million in relief, and this year it's $266 million. Double the amount of relief for seniors across Pennsylvania, just like I committed to you. But now, hear me on this. I'm going to need your help on this. There are still 125,000 Pennsylvania seniors who qualify for relief but haven't yet signed up for it. And so we got to get the word out to all of them. Remember I said before, $266 million is being sent out by this guy and his team starting Monday? Well, that's not capped at $266 million. We still have enough relief available for those 125,000 Pennsylvania seniors who are owed that relief. That is why, using my authority as governor and the secretary's authority, we extended the deadline, which was supposed to end on July 1st. We extended it to December 31st. Now, if you've already signed up, it doesn't matter to you. But if you haven't signed up yet and you're watching or listening to this, what are you waiting for? Come get your money. We worked hard to deliver those resources for you, and we want to make sure you get the help you need to combat rising costs, put more money in your pocket, to help you deal with living on a fixed income. And so I want seniors to go and sign up. And here's how you can sign up. Well, you can work with your team right here to get you the help that you need. You can head on over to pa.gov/PTRR. It's a new website we developed. It's super easy to fill out, and you can do that from the comfort of your own home, apartment, couch, wherever you are. If you feel like you need a little bit of assistance and you live here in Steelton, head on over to Front Street to Representative Madsen's office, where he and his team are doing great work to get people signed up for the property tax rent rebate. Here's the bottom line. There's no wrong door. You can go online, you can visit with the Department of Revenue, you can do it here in your housing complex, or you can stop by one of your state representatives or state senators. Listen, I want to end where I began. I want to thank the seniors of Pennsylvania for speaking up, for demanding more from their state government. And I want you to know we listened. I think it's also important for you to understand how we delivered that and the context within which we delivered it. You know, I'm the only governor in the entire country that works with a divided legislature. Literally the only one. We've got a Senate led by Republicans and a House led by Democrats. And listen, in these polarized times, you all know, it's kind of hard to bring Democrats and Republicans together. Yet that's exactly what we did. And by the way, we did it in my first year in office. And I think it's an example of the progress we can make together here in Pennsylvania. If we just continue to focus on common sense things, on compromise, on getting stuff done for the good people of Pennsylvania. That has been the cause of my work as your governor. It's going to continue to be the cause of my work as your governor. And in this case, the seniors of Pennsylvania are the beneficiaries of all of us coming together, working together, finding common ground, and getting stuff done. So I want to thank you for having me back today. And it is now my pleasure to introduce someone that I'm sure all of you know, and that is your neighbor, Liz, to say a few words. Liz?
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to speak on the rent rebates. It's been a pleasure having the rent rebates. As a as a senior, and before being a senior, I was a disabled person. The rent rebate always came in the middle of summer. It was like Christmas in July.
There you go.
And I think all of the seniors feel the same way. Those of us that weren't working, that's like an income tax check. It's something that we got every year. We look forward to it. It helped us buy the things, maybe your winter coat in the summertime, because you couldn't afford it throughout the year. Living on a fixed income is very hard. I had started a part-time job. This, last year before, I was not eligible for the rent rebate. Governor Shapiro raised the ceiling for amount that you can make. This year, I can get the rent rebate, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz.
Sure.
Good job.
Thank you.
You very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, and on behalf of the entire team of the Department of Revenue, I'm proud to be here with Governor Shapiro to talk about a very important initiative and his leadership on behalf of all the seniors here in Pennsylvania. It goes without saying some of the most significant programs that are administered by federal and state governments are ones that benefit seniors. But if they're not updated on a consistent basis, the numbers of seniors that can benefit from them logically decreases. And the numbers in the tax and rent rebate program are compelling in that regard. From 2005 to 2023, 163,000 senior citizens were no longer eligible. $70 million was no longer allocated. And that's a drop in about 30% of the total claimants in the program. For Governor Shapiro, not having this program updated over 20 years and having that many seniors no longer receiving it was unacceptable. Because of his leadership, working with the General Assembly, we will now see another round of having more than 550,000 claimants in the program. But of course, you need an administrator of the program, in this case, the Department of Revenue, that is prepared to facilitate the significant increase in number of claimants. And as Governor Shapiro had mentioned, we are proud to say that we had put the process improvements in place, changed our process to make sure we could accomplish this. Just some quick statistics. On July 1, we'll be prepared to send out, as Governor Shapiro said, 440,000 rebates to qualified seniors. That's a 58% increase from our prior year. Here in Dauphin County, 10,700 total and 2,900 total new recipients because of the governor's leadership. Because of the governor's efforts to extend the program, we are looking to facilitate the program's participation by another 125,000 seniors. So please, for those who are viewing this today, please take advantage of that. We have until December 31st to consider future claims. And just to close, a short sales pitch. This program is sustainable only because of those who choose that have gaming in their entertainment throughout the year to choose to participate in the Pennsylvania lottery. The patronage of Pennsylvanians to our lottery is what makes the tax and rebate program sustainable. So thank you for the opportunity to talk about the Department of Revenue and its work on this program, and we look forward to working under Governor Shapiro's leadership to continue to assist and lead on behalf of Pennsylvania seniors. So thank you. I'll turn this over to representative from the area, Representative Mattson.
Thank you.
So a lot of what I had prepared has already been said, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But I want to thank the governor for coming to the 104th Legislative District again. And actually, this is the fourth time, I think, in less than 3 months. So we were in Paxtang celebrating the whole home repairs program and advocating for that together. We were in the mill with Cleveland Cliffs and Secretary Pete Buttigieg celebrating the relationship there that we're having and the expansion of good paying union jobs that are going to exist in the district. And then we're at the Boys and Girls Club playing basketball last week. And now we're here with our seniors.
I held my own.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has an amazing jump shot. I'm not just saying that. I was pretty stunned. So, I mean, look, all of those things are important. Whole homes repaired, good paying union jobs, summer enrichment programs for our youth, and now this. And I'll say this, I'm on the Appropriations Committee. And I believe that the budget is a moral document, and you can judge the moral character of society by how you treat your most vulnerable. And I think this program right here is a testament that what we're trying to do for our most vulnerable citizens amongst us, we are not just saying this, we're backing it up with true action, and we're helping residents in our districts and across Pennsylvania. So I just want to thank the governor and his team for their great and stellar work, and the folks that run this facility. We partner with them, and we've done a lot to get rent rebates and supporting our seniors. So I just glad to have him here again and his team, and I'm looking forward to the next thing. But want to hear if there's any questions from residents or the press, and I'll let him handle that part. And thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Fred. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I want to get the chance to visit with all of you. Before I do that, I got to take some questions from our friends in the media. So let's take a couple questions, and then we'll get the chance to talk. Anybody?
Talk about the trying to get more seniors onto the program. Do you know how much more money could be given out to seniors if they do sign up by December 31st?
The way to look at it is not how much money is available. The way to look at it is how many seniors are eligible. There are 125,000 seniors who are eligible who have not yet applied. And we have the resources, we have the money to be able to drive out to each and every one of them who are eligible and apply. And as I said before, the Department of Revenue is doing an extraordinary job processing those applications. They process about 95% of the applications. You know, I mean, they're working at an incredibly fast pace. And so if you are eligible, we want you to sign up at pa.gov/PTRR and get the money that you are owed.
And talk a little bit about, as you mentioned, that, you know, divided government, very hard to get bills passed and everything, the effort it took to get, you know, everything through so this can actually happen for many thousands of Pennsylvania seniors.
Look, I focus on common sense things that get stuff done for the good people of Pennsylvania, that can bring Republicans and Democrats together to accomplish meaningful things that make people's lives better. That is the cause of my work. That is the focus of my work, and I've been pleased with the bipartisan support we've received on a number of initiatives, and this is one example of that progress we've made together.
And final question, since we have you here this week, obviously
you're getting three, I'll tell you.
Yeah, rare chance I get to do that. Final question, you know, this week being budget week,
Yeah.
how are you how are things going with the negotiation process for the final budget, and do you think we're going to actually get a budget on time on Friday?
Look, here's what I'll tell you. We have had a very productive and a very honest dialogue. And I can tell you that all parties are working incredibly hard. We were literally working, I think, past midnight last night. We've had really good dialogue, especially over the weekend, and we're making good progress. There are resources available to do the things that both parties want to do. And I think everyone understands that in a divided government, you've got to compromise. And what I've been saying for months is that I don't know exactly how every single line item of this budget will play out, but I can tell you for sure I know one thing, and that is every party is going to have to compromise. And in compromise, we're able to achieve progress for the good people of Pennsylvania. We're going to keep working diligently, we're going to keep working honestly, and we're going to get there together.
Governor, two questions. Will the statute of limitations constitutional amendment get passed? And if so, is your office pushing for it to get done before lawmakers break after passing a budget?
Sure. Did you say you had two questions, or?
Yeah, I just said, and if so.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to get into any specifics about the dialogue that we're having. I am very clear on record in supporting reform to our statute of limitations. I have felt that way since I was Attorney General, and continue to advocate for it as governor.
Governor.
Hang on, he had two.
Yeah, okay, thank you. As budget negotiations continue, what other bills or measures do you want to see reach your desk?
Yeah. Well, there are a number of initiatives that the House and Senate and I care about, and we're working through all of that right now to do our best to find common ground around the things that can pass in a divided legislature. As I said before, I'm not going to get into any specifics of our discussions. I can just tell you they have been very productive and very honest, and we're working hard to reach that common ground.
Thank you so much.
Governor, I'm going to
guess you're not going to get into specifics again, but I just want to check one thing on transit. You called for that in your budget address. Within the building, folks are saying we can't address transit if we don't put more to other transportation, particularly roads and bridges. Do you have an
I
opinion
think you
on
already
it?
answered your own question. I'm not going to get into specifics here. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to getting the chance to visit with you. Thank you.